talking about is a work written by Master Shantideva. And Master Shantideva wrote this amazing book called The Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. And I'm going to talk about 4 of the verses that are from chapter 2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read the verses first and then talk about them. I bow down with prostrations as numerous as the atoms in all the Buddha fields, to the Buddhas of all 3 times, together with Dharma and the Supreme Assembly. I pay homage to all the sacred places and pilgrimage spots of the Bodhisattva. I make obeisance to the praiseworthy teachers and ascetics. I go for refuge to the Buddha until the essence of awakening is reached. I go for refuge in the Dharma and also the assembly of Bodhisattvas. I pray with hands folded to the fully awakened ones residing in all directions and also to the Bodhisattvas, beings of great compassion. Okay, so tonight's talk is really, we wanted to talk about how we can take some ordinary actions and in our everyday life, just try to see everything as extraordinary. And if you were here, if you come to Venerable Punsak's teaching his meditations, if you were here on Friday, was anybody here on Friday? Yes. And it was super cool because he talked about the exact opposite. And I really loved it because that's what you'll find in Buddhist teachings. You'll find all these contradictions and you're like, wait a minute, I thought that they just said be ordinary, and Venerable Punsak was talking about how we can be ordinary. And tonight's talk is actually how we can be extraordinary. And so, first of all, what is something extraordinary? Does anybody have any idea? Any thoughts on what they think extraordinary is? Come on, Eve.
Something beautiful.
Okay, cool. Yeah, something beautiful. Anybody else?
Having compassion for your enemies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those are both great answers. Okay, so in the Buddhist path, something that's extraordinary would be anything like that's aimed at ending suffering, or which can be beautiful, which is beautiful. Having great compassion, wisdom. So something extraordinary aimed at ending suffering and getting rid of our ignorance about how we think the world functions, and having some wisdom, and also generating happiness, because that's what we're all looking for. We're all looking to be happy in some form or another. So you can think of extraordinary as thoughts, words, deeds, anything aimed at ending suffering, generating happiness. So ordinary, if I say that's extraordinary, what do you think ordinary is? Miriam.
Falling into our old stories about ourselves.
Yes.
Patterns, believing.
Yeah, exactly. Ordinary is just falling into our old habits, holding on to our old stories about who we are, not seeing the potential for every moment to be different, staying in that state of suffering. So when we're extraordinary, we can say, okay, I might be having a hard time, but I can try to look at the bright side, maybe help somebody else out, and that's going to start to uplift my mind. And once you start to uplift your mind, then you can get out of those habits that bring you down. So how do you think we're going to be able to tell if something's ordinary or extraordinary? Do you think there's any way we can tell? No. Okay, I'll give you the answer for this one. Actually, the only way we know is if we look inside our own minds, if we look inside our own heart. That's how we know if it's ordinary or extraordinary. It's really, extraordinary just means we're doing something with the right intention or the right motivation behind what we're doing. So in this verse, I bow down with prostrations as numerous as all the atoms in the Buddha fields. What we're talking about is showing respect. Has everybody seen a prostration before? Has anyone not seen a prostration? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do a prostration, and normally before you start some kind of Buddhism class, we're going to prostrate to the Buddha. And as we do this, we say, may I have the body and the speech and the mind of a Buddha. And then we go down to the floor and we say, out with the impure body and with the pure body. May I have the body, speech, and mind of a Buddha. Out with the impure speech and in with the pure speech. May I have the body, speech, and heart of a Buddha. Out with the impure heart and with the pure heart. May I have the body, speech, and heart of a Buddha. So in that respect, what we're doing as we prostrate is just asking to have the qualities of a Buddha. And a Buddha is a being that's eliminated all their suffering. And it's a pretty remarkable state to be in if you have no more suffering. And a Buddha is someone who has great compassion for all beings. And a Buddha has gotten rid of all their ignorance about the world. And a Buddha has achieved a state of omniscience where they can know exactly how the world functions. So as we bow with prostrations to all the Buddha feels, that just means all the Buddhas, to the Buddhas of the past, present, and future, that's all the 3 times, together with the Dharma, that's all the teachings that are going to lead us on the path. And the path is just the route that we're going to travel, and we all travel a different route, a route to enlightenment. And the supreme assembly is the Sangha. So, does anybody have any idea how you would do this in normal life? If you're just walking down the street, how can we tie in these prostrations with regular life?
Just like honoring the qualities that you see reflected in the people that you walk by that are ones that you want to see in yourself, and honoring that.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, Eve. So if you didn't hear Eve said you just honor the qualities that you see in other people. And this is the easiest way to generate some virtue. And also think really kindly of yourself, because as you start to see amazing qualities in other people, then you start to realize you also have those amazing qualities. So if you're going to Trader Joe's and the person's smiling, or you go to the post office or coffee shop, wherever you go, you can mentally have these attitudes of prostration, even though you're not actually doing the prostration, or maybe you're not doing the bowing. You can think, I really wish I had the patience of that person in front of me. I really wish that I could smile just like Eve. I really wish I could, have this face like Miriam, I really wish I could have acted as fast as Hector. I came out of the bathroom and I don't know is she in here?
Yes.
You're so pretty.
What's your name? Elena. Wow, you were really brave. I was like, wow, if that had happened to me, I don't know. I was just so nervous for you. So I don't know. It was scary, and so I think that it was really brave of you to be there. And then especially and then afterwards you were there laying there in your underwear, and you probably didn't mind. But I don't know. You were just very brave. So we try to look for these qualities that we see in other people. The second verse, I pay homage to all the sacred places and pilgrimage spots to the Bodhisattva. I make obeisance to the praiseworthy teachers and ascetics. So Bodhisattva is someone who has these qualities. They're striving to become enlightened for the sake of all beings. And, sometimes these words kind of get lost and we're not really sure what they mean. But it's someone who has this compassion in their heart, who has bodhicitta. And they're really making efforts to serve people. So if you relate this verse to ordinary life, as Ginny talked about, and Ginny is so amazing. I mean, Ginny has so many awesome qualities that she's really like the rock star of our Whenever I think of Ginny, I think of rock star. I mean, she's obscenely talented. I just wish I had all her talents. And she was talking about Diamond Mountain and all the amazing people who are there doing meditation retreats. So we could think of this being a sacred place. We could think of the Three Jewels being a sacred place. We could think of Trader Joe's being a sacred place. So as you go walking down the street, you just think, all these holy people are walking along the street with me. And how can I make their life better? And how can I remember their good qualities? The third verse, I go for refuge to the Buddhas until the essence of awakening is reached. I go for refuge in the Dharma and also the assembly of Bodhisattvas. Okay, refuge. Refuge is what happens when we seek shelter. Like today it started pouring and I stopped at the umbrella stand and realized I didn't want to pay $5 for an umbrella, so I got wet. But I would, the umbrella is our shelter, right? Our refuge. And so real refuge is when you take refuge in the Three Jewels. And the Three Jewels are the Buddha, the Dharma, the teachings, the realizations that will get you enlightened, and the Sangha, all the members who are on the way out. So normally it seems like for me I'm taking refuge in all kind of things, and I'm forgetting to take refuge in the Buddha. And the Buddha is also the teacher within you, and the teacher that you see outside too. So you have to go into a state of meditation and realize you have all the abilities to reach your goals. So you just come back and say, I will keep trying until I reach the goal of helping all people who need my help, that I see suffering. I want to make them happy. When other people are happy, I'm happy. And so that's really the goal that we're trying to achieve. Let's see. Okay, and the last verse. I pray with hands folded to the fully awakened one, residing in all directions, and also to the Bodhisattvas, beings of great compassion. So in this verse, fully awakened ones means a Buddha, anyone who's awakened to the true reality of that's here right now. And also the Bodhisattvas, the beings who have this compassion, who want to help the beings they see who are suffering. And in all directions merely refers to they're Buddhas everywhere. If we really could see that so many people are helping us every day, and we just don't. I go and get a coffee and I don't realize how many people have gone into this process of helping me get this coffee. It's amazing. There's the farmer, there's the store, the coffee roaster, the cup maker. If you just stop for a minute and think, there's so many factors and so many people that helped you get that one little thing. And I think that comes down to being grateful. So this verse is about, I guess it's praying with hands folded. So to me, it's about being grateful to all the beings and who are helping. So in our normal life, again, you can be grateful, and I think being grateful is a really good quality. Being grateful, forgiving, recognizing good qualities in other people, and with all those things, you start to really reach a place where you see you have all these great qualities, and you start to reach your potential, and then you help other people reach their potential, and it just all keeps spiraling. And like Jenny said, you hear these teachings and they help you get to where you need to go, and they just continue you on the path until you reach the point of being enlightened. So I want to do just a little 3-minute meditation. So if y'all want to get in a comfortable seat. So you can keep your eyes open slightly or close them. Just come into a comfortable seat. Your legs can be crossed, or you can have them out to the sides. Bring your hands onto your knees, palms facing up or palms facing down. And your arms can be slightly bowed out to the side. Collarbone and shoulders nice and open. Back is straight. You can feel your seat pulling to the ground at the same time your head's lifting up. So you have a nice tall spine. And bring your attention to your eyes and just feel your eyes relaxed in their sockets. If you have your eyes open, you can gently stare down the bridge of your nose, around about 6 feet in front of you. Feel the tension melt out of your face. Bring your tongue to the roof of your mouth so the tongue is touching your back, top teeth in the back. So it's touching your palate, your upper palate. And then begin to concentrate on the breath at the tip of the nose, focusing on the exhale first, and then the inhale. Start counting to 10. So count number 1 is the exhale, and the second part of 1 is the inhale. If you feel your mind wandering, just bring your attention back to the tip of your nose, watching the breath. Mind, bring sitting right in front of you your teacher or someone that you really admire, someone could be your mom, or a friend, or your husband, or your boyfriend, someone who has the qualities of compassion, someone who has qualities of wisdom, someone who has qualities of love, someone you see is really happy and is making the right decisions for their life. So just bring them right in front of you, like they're sitting right in front of you, like you're sitting. And just see their smile, and you're really happy they came and joined you. And if you're comfortable doing prostrations, make 3 prostrations to them in your mind, just telling yourself, I wish I had the qualities that you have. I wish I had your compassion. I wish I had your understanding. Any qualities that you can think that you really admire. You can do a prostration, or you can do a bow, or you can just keep your hands folded. Whatever works for you, just telling the person in your mind, telling the person as they're seated in front of you that you really admire them. And if it is your Lama or your teacher who's sitting in front of you, thank them for teaching you the path to enlightenment. Thank them for teaching you. And then get them a hug or a kiss or however you feel comfortable, and tell them goodbye and that you're looking forward to seeing them again. And next I want you to bring to mind somebody today who you might not know at all. Somebody who really made an impression on you. If you can't really remember what they look like, that's okay. Just think to yourself, I really like those qualities that you have, and I hope to have them as well. So bring that person in front of you. And you can be honest and say, I'm sorry, I really don't know you very well, but I think that I admire such and such about you, and I wish I had that quality. And then you can say goodbye to them. bring your attention back to your breath and back to the tip of your nose, and just stay here for a few breaths before opening your eyes. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? So if there's anything that you have to remember from this talk, it's just that you can make things that appear to be ordinary extraordinary just by thinking good things about them. Even if you're having a hard time, it might be hard in the moment, it might be hard for the next day, but you can just say, there's got to be one good thing that I'm not seeing, one good thing. And if you start to bring your mind to those good things, you can start to see things as more than ordinary and more extraordinary. And so that's the basic premise of these verses, is just to bow down to say, I wish I have those qualities that you have. I want to be a Buddha. I want to be enlightened. I want to end suffering for